It started on a rainy Monday morning, one of those gray, hopeless days when everything feels heavy. Daniel, a single dad barely making ends meet, was rushing his 7-year-old daughter Lily to school before heading to his second shift at the construction site. His worn-out boots splashed through puddles as he pulled Lily's pink umbrella closer to her, trying to shield her from the cold drizzle. They didn't have much, but Daniel had something priceless, a heart that refused to stop giving. Just as they reached the corner bus stop, he noticed an elderly woman struggling with a mop bucket outside a building. Her back was bent, her hands trembling, and her old janitor uniform was soaked through. People passed by without even looking at her. Daniel didn't. He couldn't. He told Lily softly, "Go inside, sweetheart, Daddy will be right back." Then he ran toward the old lady. "Ma'am, let me help you with that," he said, already taking the heavy bucket from her hands. She looked up in surprise, her eyes were tired but sharp, studying him quietly. "Oh, young man, I can manage," she muttered. Daniel smiled faintly. "You've already done enough. Let me give you a hand." He helped her carry the cleaning supplies inside the massive office building. The nameplate by the glass door read, Henderson Enterprises, a corporation everyone in town knew, owned by one of the wealthiest families around. But Daniel didn't care who she worked for, he just wanted to make her day a little easier. The woman's name was Evelyn. She thanked him, offering a soft smile that almost looked like it hadn't been used in a while. "People don't stop to help much these days," she said. Daniel shrugged. "My dad used to say, when you've got nothing, kindness is the only thing you can afford to give." Evelyn's eyes glistened. "Your father raised a good man." That moment, simple and small, was the start of something Daniel could never have imagined. Weeks passed. Daniel would often stop by the building before or after work to help Evelyn with heavy boxes or equipment. Sometimes Lily tagged along, handing the old lady little drawings to make her day brighter. Evelyn began to love that child like her own granddaughter. But Evelyn wasn't who she seemed. Behind her humble appearance, she was Evelyn Henderson, the grandmother of Clara Henderson, the powerful CEO of the company. The janitor grandma was conducting a quiet experiment of her own, testing the character of people around her, tired of seeing the world filled with greed and fake smiles. And Daniel, he was about to change everything. One day, as Daniel finished mopping a hallway for her, Evelyn noticed the bruises on his hands. "You've been working too hard," she said softly. He laughed it off. Just another week, another bill. But when Evelyn pressed gently, he confessed how he'd lost his wife 2 years ago, how he was juggling 3 jobs, and how he was behind on rent. Yet, not once did he complain. Instead, he said, "As long as Lily smiles, I can take anything the world throws at me." That line broke something inside Evelyn. Here was a man with nothing, yet rich in all the ways that mattered. A few days later, Evelyn didn't show up to work. Daniel got worried. He called the security guard, who told him she'd been taken to the hospital. Without thinking twice, Daniel borrowed his boss's old pickup truck and drove across town. He walked into the hospital room carrying a small bouquet of wildflowers Lily had picked. Evelyn's eyes lit up when she saw them. "You came," she whispered. "Of course," Daniel said. "Family looks out for each other." That word, family, hit her deeply. Tears welled up in her eyes. "You don't even know who I am," she said. Daniel smiled. "I know enough. You're, Evelyn, the kindest woman I've met in a long time." But that day, when he left, something in her heart had already decided his future. A week later, Daniel received a letter, hand-delivered. It was printed on official Henderson Enterprises stationery. For a moment, he panicked. "Oh no," he muttered. "Did I do something wrong helping her?" Inside, there was a gold invitation to a corporate event and a note. "Greater than, please come. Bring Lily. E.H." He almost didn't go. He didn't own a suit. But Lily convinced him, "Daddy, what if Grandma Evelyn needs us?" So, he went, nervously walking into a ballroom filled with executives in expensive dresses and suits. People stared at him, whispering. Then the lights dimmed, and a spotlight fell on the stage. A familiar voice spoke from the microphone. "I'd like to introduce someone very special," said a woman in a sleek black gown. It was Clara Henderson, the CEO herself. My grandmother has been spending the past months undercover as a janitor, and today, she wants to share what she's learned. Evelyn stepped onto the stage, no uniform this time, just elegance and grace. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Daniel's jaw dropped. She smiled directly at him. In a world obsessed with wealth and titles, she said, I met a man who reminded me what real riches look like. His name is Daniel, a single father who gave without asking for anything in return. The crowd turned toward him. Evelyn continued, he didn't know I was the owner's grandmother. He helped me, cared for me, and taught me that kindness doesn't need recognition, it just needs heart. Then she looked at Clara. And I've decided to give him something in return, a full-time job, a home for him and his daughter, and a scholarship for Lily's future. Daniel was speechless. Lily hugged him, crying, Daddy, she's like a fairy godmother. The audience rose to their feet, clapping. Daniel tried to hold back tears, but his voice trembled as he said, You didn't have to do this. Evelyn smiled softly. I did. Because people like you remind me that goodness still exists, and the world needs to see it. Months later, Daniel stood outside his new home, watching Lily play in the yard. Evelyn often visited, laughing and sharing stories about her youth. Clara became like an older sister to him, admiring the man who'd changed her grandmother's heart. The struggles were still there, but now, there was light. Hope. Family. As Daniel looked at Lily chasing butterflies, he whispered to himself, maybe miracles don't fall from the sky, maybe they come disguised as people who just need a helping hand. And if you're watching this right now, remember, kindness costs nothing but can change everything. So don't scroll past a struggling soul. Be someone's miracle. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe, because we've got more true-hearted stories coming that remind us of the one thing that still makes this world beautiful, love that expects nothing in return. Heart.